about that today. But that's me giving you the overview of not only that sectoral presentation, but also why it matters to you. We'll take a break inside Lead Story and come back to you because those concerns and questions about culture have been raised. A Hearts of Jamaica survey conducted now helps us see how different Jamaica looked from the past, what it looks like today, and what we might be able to do to make adjustments to our culture in the future. Stay with us inside Lead Story.
Thanks for joining us for CVM News at noon. It's Friday, May 22nd, 2026. I'm Amoy Harriet. Up first this afternoon, the Little London Police in Westmoreland have confirmed that one victim involved in Wednesday morning's double motorcycle collision has succumbed to his injuries at the hospital. The deceased has been identified as 25-year-old D'Angelo Brown of Darling Street in the parish. Reports are that about 4 o'clock, Brown and another man were traveling to Savna-la-Mar with a pillion on his motorcycle. It's understood that both motorcycles, the riders and the passenger, were thrown to the pavement. They sustained head and body injuries and were rushed to hospital where Brown died while being treated. The other 2 victims were admitted in critical conditions. An 18-year-old motorcyclist in the meantime is dead after he collided into a cow standing in the middle of the roadway in Petersfield, Westmoreland. The deceased has been identified as Bernardo Whitelock of Logwood District in Whitehorn. The incident has since sparked outrage among residents after the teen died late Wednesday night. Now, grieving residents say due to stray animals on this stretch of road, it has become a recurring tragedy, claiming several lives. They're also calling on the authorities to immediately investigate and prosecute the negligent owners. Dozens of angry residents and beach users of the Orchard Bathing Beach in Hopewell, Hanover staged a major standoff on the beach this morning after discovering persons fencing the property. The disgruntled residents, including tourists, told our newsroom the beach was given to the community by the owners of the property more than 50 years ago. A young man and his mother, who did not wish to speak on camera, claims they're the owners of the Orchard Bathing Beach and that they are not the ones fencing the property, or rather they are the ones fencing the property. President of the Hopewell Citizen Association, Derek Wright, while standing his ground, says the residents are willing to go the extra mile to ensure the safety and legality of the beach.
I have some documentation from 1959 what showed that the owner then gave this plot of land to the citizens and fishermen of Hopewell. They also asked the local authority to come and fence it off. Now, back in 2002, we have the local government ministry plan to develop the beach at a cost of 33 million then. In 2024, the Challengement Fund also plan to develop the beach. Now, the parish council sit down there, idle, and let this lady want to fence the beach and capture the beach. No, so I can put the blame on the local authority.
Now, the Hanover Municipal Corporation has since been informed of the attempts being made to fence the beach property. Residents were then informed by a representative from the Municipal Corporation that they would be visiting the location later today. We'll have that update later on in CVM News at 7. More reaction from the government this afternoon following a recent audit which revealed that only a small portion of hurricane relief donations has been spent. The audit found that of the $1.4 billion donated, just $26 million has so far been used. The findings triggered sharp criticism from the opposition and some civil society groups. But speaking at a recent Jamaica Labour Party Area Council 1 meeting, local government minister Desmond McKenzie dismissed the criticism, saying persons are simply, quote, making mischief. Finance Minister Favour Williams also weighed in.
Don't listen to the mischief makers. They will want to tell you otherwise. They will want to tell you that a thief will thief the money. No, we can't thief the money. Because the money that them claim we thief, now they must say we not spend it. But the Minister of Labour alone have spent over $10 billion.
December 2nd, last year, the Prime Minister said the money that comes in that's donated is going to go towards providing housing material for the people. So I don't, when people are saying we're not spending, but the Prime Minister said it was for a particular purpose. And we're just seeing the modular homes come in now. They're going to need a base. That's what most of the money is going to go towards. So the next time you hear somebody talk about it, just tell them. We're not just saying this today because the Auditor General's report came out. Go back and look in the records.
In the meantime, Minister McKenzie is condemning People's National Party councillors for their opposition to the One Road Authority policy framework. The minister argued that extensive consultations were held and claimed that PNP representatives had previously indicated support for the policy. The minister also singled out Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby.
Now I notice that the Mayor of Kingston uses a statement and announcement every month to be critical of the proposed One Road Authority. Labor rights. There are over 32,000 kilometers of road network across the country. Local authority have about 20,000 kilometers under their control. So the majority of roads in the country belongs to the local authority. A lot of the roads don't exist no more. What the One Road Authority will do is to assist local government in maintaining the roads. The PNP can't criticize us about roads. Because when they used to put down the road, they never put in the infrastructure. They don't put in no drains. What we are doing is a comprehensive overhaul of our roads.
As Jamaica prepares for another hurricane season, tourism stakeholders in Negril, Westmoreland say they're in a stronger position to withstand the impact of any major storm. Chairman of the Negril Destination Assurance Council, Richard Wallace, says lessons learned from Hurricanes Beryl and Melissa have prompted hoteliers to improve their disaster preparedness measures. He noted that properties have been reinforced, generators secured, and essential supplies stocked ahead of the season.
One thing that Beryl and Melissa has taught us is to be prepared for hurricanes and to take them very seriously. So based on what happened with those two events, most people, if not, the majority of people who can afford it have hurricane-proof their resorts and their businesses. A lot of people now have solar, a lot of people have bought generators, a lot of people have, put in water systems, backup systems, and so we are as ready as we ever can be.
The Bustamante Industrial Trade Union BITU is representing security, ancillary, accounting and clerical staff at the Jamaica Teachers Association JTA who protested on Monday over outstanding payments. The union says their unrest came as a result of the JTA failures to calculate salary increases from 2017 to the present, as well as delays in finalizing wage and fringe benefits negotiations for the 2024 to 26 period. Speaking with CVM News on Friday, BITU Vice President Rudolph Thomas says based on the meeting with the association on Thursday, things are progressing.
JT has indicated that where implementation is concerned, they need to get the ambit from their board to budget that kind of expenditure. And they are meeting with them in short order and will come back to us. But we are hopeful that the matter will be resolved because the workers are really anxious to have the issue behind them.
It's time now for a break, but stay with us. We'll have more when we come back.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction. 'Cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people that I say we are march up the dance. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't put it down. Shine your lights on.
Welcome back. We are continuing the news. A growing eyesore and safety hazard is brewing in Falmouth, Trelawney, just steps away from one of the town's most popular tourist backdrops, the welcome sign. Residents and business operators say a budding dump site and mechanic operations are taking over Foreshore Road, putting both pedestrians and motorists at risk. Mayor of Falmouth and Councillor for the Warsop Division, Colin Gager, acknowledged that the cluster of derelict and crashed vehicles has stripped the gateway corridor of its welcoming appeal. He says the municipality has already started serving notices. Meanwhile, the National Solid Waste Management Authority has weighed in on the garbage and debris, promising to launch an investigation into the matter.
The 20th Caribbean
Now, the 20th staging of the Caribbean Week of Agriculture is set to take place in Trelawney from September 27 to October 2. As it was launched by the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining this Thursday, stakeholders and international partners set objectives to meet the requirements of this initiative by the ministry and the wider Caribbean community. Crystal Williams was on location.
The 20th Caribbean Week of Agriculture aims to bring international partners from each member of the Caribbean community, CARICOM, to create a new face of Caribbean food systems. The F in face symbolizes food security. Agriculture Minister of Guyana and Chairman of the CARICOM Special Ministerial Task Force on Food Security and Food Production, Zulfikar Mustafa, says agriculture remains deeply connected to the economic and social fabric of the region.
It sustains livelihood, supports rural communities, contributes to economic growth, and plays a critical role in reducing poverty and improving nutrition and health outcomes. However, we also recognize that the sector continues to face significant challenges, climate variability, rising production costs, global supply chain disruptions, natural disasters, and market instability continues to affect food production and food availability across CARICOM.
The A in FACE stands for agribusiness. Jamaica's Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Floyd Green, says farmers, especially those with factories who are also manufacturers, should be able to successfully manage their enterprises on their own.
We have to focus on agribusiness, innovation, technology, value-added products. And we have to ensure that in the region, we're using the Caribbean Week of Agriculture to look at regional blended financing options to ensure that our small-scale farmers, whether they are in Jamaica, Guyana, Barbados, St. Kitts, can have access to financing.
The C in FACE, Climate Smart Technologies. Director General of the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim, says ICA is promoting resilient agricultural practices through soil health management and adoption of climate-resilient systems.
This year's CWA theme, the new face of Caribbean food systems, transformation and resilience, will take place almost a year after the passage of Hurricane Melissa, one of the most intense Atlantic hurricanes that destroyed agricultural production and infrastructure and disrupted farming livelihoods.
Finally, the E in FACE represents export expansion, as the Caribbean Private Sector Organization, CPSO, champions the 25 by 25 plus 5 initiative aimed at reducing extra-regional agri-food imports by 25% by 2025, adding 5 years until 2030. CEO and Technical Director of the CPSO says Phase 1 must be heavily assessed by the following questions before the next phase can be successful.
How did we perform on real trade flows? How did we perform on private sector investment? How did we perform in growing and expanding our agri-food market share within the community? And where uptake of these opportunities have not delivered on the promise of the opportunities. What explains it? Was it logistics? Was it access to capital? Was it skill constraints, standards, and certification barriers? Was it price competitiveness? Or was it policy coherence? Moreover, was it a combination of gaps across the value chain that made otherwise viable opportunities commercially unattractive? These are precisely the questions that will determine whether the next phase, the +5 phase of this regional agenda, achieves the outcomes we are collectively seeking.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
We go now to news overseas. Congolese protesters have set fire to tents for Ebola patients amidst the outbreak after authorities refused to give them the dead body of a victim they wanted to bury themselves. This incident is highlighting the struggle that authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo could face in enforcing the safe burials of people with confirmed and suspected cases that are required to help contain the outbreak. More from France 24.
Fear and anger in Ituri province, where a crowd set parts of a medical facility on fire. Their friend and relative, Eli, died from Ebola, and they wanted to reclaim his body so they could bury him. But the bodies of those infected remain highly contagious. When the hospital personnel said the body could not be taken away, the situation quickly escalated.
Local youths became angry, demanding to know why the young man had died. This caused a commotion, culminating in the youths setting fire to the treatment center built for Ebola patients. Inside was the body of my own brother, Ansimwa Katabukwa, which was burned beyond recognition.
The Congolese province of Ituri is at the heart of the latest Ebola outbreak. Since the first cases were detected there, the disease has spread to North Kivu, and cases were also detected in Uganda. In the latest development, the M23 rebel group said new cases were confirmed in South Kivu, a province under its control. The conflict has displaced hundreds of thousands of people, weakened health services, and made some areas difficult or dangerous for medical teams to reach. It has also fueled suspicion towards health workers.
Some people will say it's magic. Others will refuse to believe it. Others will say we're making the numbers up, and others will say we're playing it down for various reasons. But the reality is that the epidemic exists, and humanitarian workers as well as the health authorities are doing everything they can to stop it.
Health authorities say they need more supplies and more staff to fight the outbreak. Several health workers have succumbed to Ebola in recent weeks.
It's time now for a break. Sports is next.
Delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire